Have you ever looked at your bank account and just wondered, where did it all go? It's like your money has a mind of its own, right? Well, if you feel like you're stuck on a financial treadmill, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you the real key to mastering your money has almost nothing to do with just earning more? It actually all starts with a story that just seems to defy all logic. Let's get into it.
We're going to kick things off with a story that sounds, well, completely backward. It's a real-life paradox that flips everything we think we know about wealth completely on its head.
$25 million. That is how much debt one really successful entrepreneur, a guy named Leo Carmichael, found himself in back in 2010. But believe it or not, that's not even the craziest part of the story. So here's the twist. He wasn't in debt because his businesses failed. Nope. He was in debt after he had successfully built companies valued at over $200 million. I mean, how is that even possible? This right here is the million-dollar question, or, in his case, the $200 million question. And it's not just for some high-flying entrepreneur. It's a question a lot of us face, just on a different scale. It proves that just earning more money isn't always the answer. So what is?
Well, this brings us to the core aha moment of this whole thing. To get it, we need to completely shift our perspective on what money actually is. Let me just ask you this. What if money isn't just about the numbers sitting in your bank account? What if we've been looking at this whole thing all wrong? So here's a big reframe. Money is just a tool for exchanging value. That's it. Your paycheck, that's not just money. That's you trading your time and your skills. That coffee you bought this morning, you're trading money for the value of the beans, the barista's work, the whole experience. Every single transaction we make is just a value exchange. So you see, money itself isn't good or bad. It's totally neutral. All it really is options. And your entire financial reality, it's defined by the choices you make with those options. Okay, so to get a handle on those choices, we need to understand the two big forces that act like an engine for our finances. It's all about production versus consumption.
It's honestly this simple. Production is anything that brings money in. Your job, developing a new skill, starting a side hustle. Consumption is everything that sends money out. All those subscriptions, the new phone, your lifestyle choices. Your net worth is just the balance between these two. And the problem for most people, even the high earners, it's not production, it's consumption. And that brings us to a term we all know and love, right? The rat race. But what if the way we usually think about it is all wrong? What if it has nothing to do with having a 9-to-5 job? The real rat race is this feeling of financial fragility. It's when your consumption is so high, so close to your production, that you are always one emergency away from disaster, one car repair, one medical bill. And you can be in this race, whether you make $30,000 a year or $300,000 a year. The numbers change, but the feeling is the same. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, we've got the paradox, we've reframed money as value, and we've redefined the real rat race. Now for the good news. There's a clear and surprisingly simple plan to escape. But hang on. Before we get to the plan, we have to acknowledge something. If the steps are so simple, why do so many of us struggle with this? Well, it turns out our own brains can kind of work against us. See, we're all wired with these funny little behavioral quirks. We have an avoidance bias. You know, that feeling when you'd rather just not look at your bank statement if you think the news is bad. We crave instant gratification. We want the small reward today over the big reward tomorrow. And of course, that social pressure to keep up with the Joneses is a huge driver of overconsumption. Just knowing these exist is half the battle. All right, here it is, the 3-step escape plan. First step, awareness. You have to become a financial detective. Track every single dollar to see where it's actually going. Second, control. This is where you create a budget and build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Think of it like your financial firewall. And finally, step 3 is production. Now you shift your focus to creating more value through new skills, a side project, whatever it is. At the end of the day, all of this comes down to one profound truth. Mastering these ideas isn't really about getting rich. It's about being in control. Your relationship with money, how you see it, how you manage it, that directly shapes the level of freedom you have in your life. So it all boils down to this. What is one small choice you can make today, right now, to start taking control? Maybe it's just tracking your spending for the rest of the day, or skipping one little impulse purchase. Whatever it is, that single choice, that's the start of a whole new financial story. The rest is up to you.